You are tuned in to Revolution Radio, Windsor's finest variety radio station. I'll be your host, Tony Tavaleri, and you can join us at St. Clair College's Mediaplex every week for comedy, culture, news, and entertainment. Enjoy some R&R with Revolution Radio. The revolution starts now.
Good morning, Windsor. My name is Owen Kohut, and I'm here with my co-host, Brianna Myles. And you're tuning in to Revolution Radio.
Comedy legend Catherine O'Hara has sadly died at the age of 71. Known for her iconic roles in Home Alone, Beetlejuice, and Schitt's Creek, Canadian-born actress Catherine O'Hara has been a well-known household name. Her cause of death has not yet been released, and she is survived by her husband of 33 years, Bob Welch, and her 2 sons.
For anyone who's a fan of Home Alone or Schitt's Creek, you'll know how talented she was, and I can't believe we've lost another great Canadian. It's a shame.
Yeah, a wonderful woman.
The federal government has launched its assault-style firearms compensation program. This optional program encourages people who own some of the 2,500 banned makes and models of assault-style firearms to hand over their weapons and receive compensation subject to available funds. In an attempt to lower gun violence in Canadian communities, businesses and individual firearm owners are being told to dispose of or permanently deactivate their assault-style firearms before October 30th, 2026. Both LaSalle and Windsor Police Departments announced on their social media pages that they have opted to not participate in this program at this given time. Windsor Police stated they identified concerns related to operational requirements, resource impacts, and feasibility after reviewing the program. Chief Jason Crowley said, "This decision allows us to stay focused on our core policing responsibilities while continuing to work with our partners to address violent crimes and the illegal use of firearms in our community."
As for more news, the city is coming for your old recycling bins. The City of Windsor and Circular Materials have come up with a plan to help residents get rid of their old recycling bins and carts. Beginning on February 10th, crews will be collecting old bins for a 2-week period. Residents interested in participating in the program must register on the City of Windsor's website by 11:59 p.m. on February 8th, 2026. The city asks that the bins be empty and accessible at the road for effective collection the day of pickup. We have posted the website to our Facebook page as well for easier access to residents at Revolution Radio Windsor.
And now moving on to weather. If you haven't noticed, it's been quite cold out there. We've been dealing with a Arctic vortex, and we're here to see if there's any signs of warming up. And let's get into that with our 3-day forecast.
I hope it gets warmer.
I hope so too. At Saturday, it's not looking the greatest at -12 with a chance of flurry. So
oh no,
winter's sticking around for tomorrow, it seems. With Sunday, we get a little warmer with a high of -6 and sunshine. And then Monday, it's -4 with snow showers. So we don't quite know what the precipitation is going to be like, but we're expecting some snow, folks.
At least the sun's out.
Oh yeah, and that's a look at your 3-day forecast.
You are listening to Revolution Radio.
Have you ever been in a situation that was blown a little out of proportion and left you wondering, am I the problem? Chris Dom, with a panel, has set out to figure out whose side is reasonable in a story submitted online.
Welcome back for another week of Am I the Problem? I am Chris Dom, and I'm here with Tate, Brianna, and Chelsea. And let's get right into it, guys. Am I the problem for not allowing my sister-in-law's husband to stay in the bridal suite while we were getting ready? So the story goes. For my wedding day, we rented a hotel suite in the city. I paid for hair and makeup for all of my bridesmaids, and as a courtesy, I also paid for my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. I'm not close to my sister-in-law, but she's very close to my husband, so I included her. On the morning of the wedding, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law arrived late because my sister-in-law and her husband had been on a beach trip. When they arrived, my sister-in-law brought her husband into the suite with his clothes to get ready for the wedding later, which surprised me because she didn't mention anything about bringing him with her. All 3 of them sat on the couch and her husband stayed there on his phone. I texted my husband asking if he was supposed to stay and get dressed there. He didn't know either. I told him this was meant to be a women-only space since all of us were wearing robes that open easily and our underwear was visible. I asked my husband to tell his sister that her husband could wait in the hotel lobby, but she refused and was also against the idea of him driving back alone to our house to get ready with my husband and groomsmen, because she didn't want to risk him getting lost since he's from another country. He's from Puerto Rico, and we're from the Dominican Republic, and he has traveled around the DR many times on his own. She got upset and tried to leave, but the hair and makeup artist convinced her to come back since it was already paid for. She got her hair and makeup done, and then all three of them left anyway and waited in the lobby. They even ended up getting dressed in the lobby bathroom, even though my mother-in-law and sister-in-law were allowed to stay in the suite if they wanted to. My mother told me privately that she thought it was rude to bring a man into a room where only women were getting ready. So, am I the problem for not allowing him to stay there? Was I being inflexible? She was clearly very upset about the whole thing, and understand maybe she didn't want to have him sit alone for hours in the lobby while we were getting ready, but I didn't know what else to do.
Not the problem at all.
No, I don't think it's the problem at all, because as sister-in-law, it's not your day. So why do you get to dictate how things are going to be run and then just throw a fit over something that's already been paid for is a bit ridiculous. And it's the woman's wedding day.
Yeah, like why is she treating, first of all, why is she treating her husband like a pet? Like, he can go home by himself. Like,
yeah, this is a grown man, I imagine.
And not only that, like, oh, I'm bad with directions. I think that's a cop-out plea. Like, especially if the groom and all the other groomsmen were at a specific house, I'm sure they would have made sure that this man found his way there, right?
Exactly.
Especially for a wedding.
Yeah, we all have phones. We all have GPSs on our phones. Like,
well, and two, if you think about it, like the bridal suite, she made a point. We're all in robes, and like it would be like walking into a locker room of the opposite gender.
Yeah.
It's completely just, no, keep it. Chelsea, what do you think?
I think he's definitely the problem, but I also think, no, he's the problem. He's a grown man. Yeah.
And it wasn't his day.
He's the problem.
He's already had his wedding day. Like,
exactly. And because it was the mother-in-law and the sister-in-law, you know, it's just, I mean, most people know how these stories go. Mother-in-laws are always so obsessed with their sons, their son-in-law. And of course, the sister, the wife, is just enabling him.
Yeah, it just, it sounds like they had a big fit because they didn't get their way.
Exactly.
And the fact that she didn't clear it with anybody, just brought her husband up and he's just sitting there on his phone. Like,
right? Like, maybe it's one thing if, like, it's all cleared beforehand, but
exactly.
Just trying to push her away without ever a conversation is like...
Yeah, it's not your day. That's what I keep going back to.
Exactly.
If anybody did that on my wedding day, you would be uninvited.
Yeah.
Right then and there.
People talk about bridezillas, but hot take, you can be a bridezilla on your wedding day. It's your big day. I know, like, statistically, people get married more than once. When you get married, you intend it to be for life. That is your big day.
Yeah.
You should be able to have whatever you want, as long as it's not, like, unreasonable. Like, don't ask for, like, people to perform at your wedding and then pay them, like, $20.
Not to mention, even if most people get married more than once, that's still what? Twice in your entire life? Like, that's not a lot of time.
Yeah. Special.
When I get married, I hope I don't run into any of those problems because people would have some big
You'll
issues.
be the bridezilla.
You'll be the problem.
I've already told a wedding planner that I expect angels to descend from heaven and place rings on our fingers, so that better happen.
I'll make sure it happens.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us again this week, guys. For Brianna, Chelsea, Tate, and myself, Chris Dom, we'll see you next week.
As some of you may have seen on our TikTok, one of our contributors behind the scenes is really passionate about cars. So, we threw him into a recording booth to talk a little bit more about a car question he's been asked one too many times.
Hello everyone, my name's Joseph Bedard, and welcome to Car CrashOUT. Basically a show where I kind of describe some things about cars, questions people have, maybe some maintenance tips or whatever, and at the end I usually end up crashing out. So we're going to see how this goes. A question I was asked today, which kind of inspired me to make this, was, are winter tires a myth? Recently around our area we've been getting a lot of snow, as Canada tends to do, and the amount of people that I see slid off the road and just gone because either they don't know how to drive their car or they don't have winter tires is beyond me. And then people that go and say winter tires are a myth. My bald tires from 1998 are perfect for this type of weather is insanity. So I will be the first to confirm to you, and probably not the last, that winter tires are in fact not a myth. Winter tires are designed with softer rubbers in mind that are more malleable, which allows in the colder weathers the tires to grip the road better. Not only that, they are designed to actually get better traction on snow rather than anything else. So, if you have winter tires, you're a lot less likely to slide off the road, such as half the people in this county seem to do. And it'll also allow you to not end up in the ditch, which the other half seems to do. That's probably why you see a lot less people on the road today. So, all of this to say, winter tires, no, they're not a myth. Even if you can just get some cheap ones from the junkyard, that would probably be the best. I know a couple junkyards could sell you a whole set for $300, which does seem like a fair amount of money, which it is in this economy. But winter tires are very worth it. Like, just in general. If you don't want to get winter tires specifically, and you don't want to worry about changing your tires at all, you could get something known as all-weather tires. Now, I know you've probably heard of all season. However, all weather I didn't hear of until actually November. All weather, basically what that is, it's all season mixed with a winter tire. It allows better grip in very light snow, or even just light snow, rain, dry conditions, whatever. It's good for all types of weather. It's not good for heavy snow. That is a really good middle ground if you are too lazy to get your tires changed, but you need something to last you in the winter. That being said, they are usually an extra $50 a tire, $150 to $200 total, which is a crazy amount of money. So I don't entirely recommend getting that at the end of the day, unless, once again, you're too lazy to get your tires changed. Or even just check your treads, because also the amount of people that I see on these roads driving on bald tires is insanity. My sister, last year in the summertime, drove on her tires, and she's like, Joe, my car feels like it's leaning a little to the right, and my tire pressure light's on. I'm like, oh, okay, let's go check that out. I go out, and for those who don't know, tires aren't just rubber. There are metal bands in between the tire to let it hold its shape and make it more durable when you hit bumps and stuff, because rubber will more than likely just gone, right? When I say that her tire was just the bands, I'm not kidding. It was crazy. And I'm like, you know what? I also haven't seen my mom change her tires in a while. I happened to look at my mom's tires and I kind of try to feel the tread, and my hand got cut on the steel bands that were poking out. I don't understand how she didn't notice, because I then took her car for a test drive, being very careful, of course, and sure enough, it's pulling harder to the right than if a 4-year-old was holding onto the wheel. It's crazy. And then they're like, hey, it's fine. You're fine. We can drive on this. Joe, my car isn't able to hold its grip in the wet. It's because you don't have tires, Mom. It's entirely steel bands. That doesn't have grip. I might be getting a little upset. This has been Car Crash Out with Joseph Bedard. I'm here to tell you to change your tires, get winter tires if you can afford it, get all-season tires if you're lazy. I hope that I've taught you something and have been some sort of entertainment.
Well, thank you for that, Joseph. That was very educational. But now, the Revolution Roundtable has gathered to talk about whether or not they recommend the games they have been playing recently.
Welcome to our weekly panel discussion here at Revolution Radio. To my left, I have Joseph Bedard. To the right, Brianna Myles. And straight across is Otis Reddings with Owen Kohut. Today, we're talking video games, what we've been playing lately, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Starting us off, Owen, what have you been playing lately?
I have been sticking to kind of one genre recently. Over the break, I played a lot of The Witcher 3, which is a game that, while it released 10 years ago, I'm just getting around to playing now. And let me tell you, it does not feel like it's that old. The Witcher 3, to me, is probably what Skyrim is to a lot of other people. It's that open world game I can just load into, do a side quest, do just some random fun, and either hop out or play for the next 8 hours and wonder where the time went. Another game I've been playing recently, though, because The Witcher 3 kind of activated a hyper-focus in me, is Dragon's Dogma 2. This is done by the creator of Devil May Cry, has influence from both Dark Souls and Monster Hunter, and overall is just a really fun and dynamic fantasy RPG. I think what it's best with is the versatility of combat. It allows for a lot of spells, a lot of different abilities you can use for melee, and it's just been overall a really fun time.
That's quite the cool fantasy kick you got there, Owen. Especially, I never knew that deep history behind Dragon's Dogma. I definitely want to check that out now. Knowing it's by the DMC guys, that's crazy.
It's got to be good, right?
Speaking of some good games, Brianna, what have you been playing?
Well, I just finished Stray actually a few days ago. It's this game where you play as a little cat. It was actually really fun. the developers didn't want it to be a cat simulator, but they managed to do it so well with being more than what just a cat simulator. It's got lore, it's got a world, it's good. It only takes like 2, 3, maybe 4 hours if you play it all the way through, but there's so much more to do, so many secrets. Really, really fun. But I'm also looking to expand. I just recently got Persona 4 from Owen, so I'm probably going to be playing that next.
That's a good choice, Owen. Classic game right there.
Thank you.
Especially Stray. That's a really fun game. I played it a little bit before. It's always fun to get to play as a cat.
Definitely.
And now for you, Joseph, what have you been playing? What has been the games on your plate, the entree of games you've been feasting on?
Well, the winter break was, I did do a lot of gaming. I will admit, Otis is not having a good time. But I was playing Halo 3, played that because I always do. Halo 3 is the best game of all time according to GameStop and myself. I was also playing games like Icarus, Peak, Peggle, Ready or Not. I've had so many different games to play. It's honestly been such a great time. The specific one I want to dive into right now is Icarus. Not a lot of people have heard about it from what I know of. It's a survival game. It's like standard survival game, sort of like Ark. You collect resources, build your base of operations, you can start manufacturing different types of weapons and materials. But the niche about this game is there are materials around the world called exotics that when you grab them, you can basically send them back to the space station, in quotes. And that'll allow you, when you leave the world and you're in the main menu, you can buy different upgrades, modules, exosuits, and a bunch of other stuff. You can buy all of that for your world, so then you can get it sent down to you again. And you can use the same character you're leveling up in different worlds. So your friend might have a different world, you can use that same character in that world with all the upgrades. It's a really cool game. The only problem is there is a lot of DLC that is rather expensive. But I got the game for like $4 on a Steam sale, so mint.
I mean, it sounds like quite the complete package even already on its own, especially going to different worlds, interacting with your friends. Like, you could get immersed into the world of Icarus.
Oh, definitely. It is a very good time, and I do recommend it if anyone were looking for a good survival game to play with some friends.
That's incredible. Well, I think with all the games discussed today, that is plenty of options for all our viewers to discuss, play, and enjoy. Thank you for joining me today here at Revolution Radio. Catch us next time.
Well, Otis didn't seem too happy you were playing Stray there, Brianna.
It's not my fault he doesn't like cats.
That's true. It's in his DNA. Chris Dom sat down with Peter Kanis to discuss the ins and outs of his work with Baron Championship rings.
Welcome and thanks for joining us at Revolution Radio. I am Chris Dom, and today in studio we have Peter, co-owner of Baron Championship Rings. Peter, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Chris. I appreciate it.
No problem. So first question, what got you into the ring making business?
It's a family business. My mom and dad started in the jewelry industry in Toronto years ago, and as just tag-alongs, come downtown for the weekend. So that's how we babysit you or watch you. And just been involved in business since I think I was 5 years old. So it's been a part of me. Went away for a bit, kind of do my own thing, but always had my toe in it. And then at some point, I saw an opportunity to kind of take this to the next level.
Nice.
So.
That's awesome. Yeah, I understand that you make rings for Team Canada, Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles. Like, how does it feel knowing that big-time athletes all over the world are wearing stuff that you made?
Well, we haven't done the Super Bowl yet.
Oh, no?
No, we NBA championship. I mean, you name the athlete, we have done it either through a Hall of Fame and through a championship or something. But no, it's pretty surreal to know that some of the heroes that I grew up with have our ring. I walked into the production office one day and just to see what's going on, and there was a group of rings being made, the Hockey Hall of Fame, and there were old ones being replaced with the new ones that we created for the Hall. And there was Gretzky, Bobby Orr, Phil Esposito, you name it. It was like, holy cow, I mean, Gretzky's getting our ring? That's pretty cool.
No, that's cool. I just kind of got some goosebumps, knowing that you're a part of that, like, history almost, right? That's amazing. Is there anybody in particular aside from that, like, that were blown away by? Anybody personal to you that was just like, I can't believe I get to do this?
You know what? We've done it so many times that I think you're in awe by just these athletes that you've watched growing up. I would say in particular, probably the basketball was kind of one of my favorite sports. So seeing some of these athletes get our rings. last year at the Hall of Fame, I met Magic Johnson before, but I got to meet Larry Bird, Dr. J, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan. It was pretty cool. Just being part of giving the Hall of Fame rings to the Hall of Famers that year.
Right.
But they were there as, I guess, honored guests to support these athletes, and just seeing them all in one room. That's like, these were all my 4 heroes growing up. Right.
That must be amazing.
Yeah.
All from a family business, eh?
All from a family business.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's next? Like, is there anybody on deck that you're making stuff for that you're allowed to talk about yet? Or
we are doing our 6th Grey Cup in a row. So for the Saskatoon Rough Riders,
Nice.
It's the first one that we're doing for them. So it's a great organization to deal with. We've got some other stuff in the works that I can't talk about, but
Fair enough.
There's some potential big names coming up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it just exclusive to like North America, or are you worldwide?
We are worldwide, but rings are not as big outside of North America as they are here. So typically we'll get orders from Australia, orders from Europe, but it's usually a Canadian or American athlete there bringing it to the attention of the team, which sometimes a lot of these athletes go to Europe and play hockey, play football, and they say, well, we got championship rings. I've got a connection, and that's how it happens.
Oh, cool.
You've named the sport we have done. There's sports that people don't even think of. Arm wrestling, cheer is huge.
Yeah.
Bands. The Blue Devils is a national championship marching band that we've done for years. They'll buy 300-400 rings for their whole organization. So chess champions, long distance drive, you name the championship, we have done it.
So when you get to watch these people, like, do you get to interact with them and be like, hey, I'm the one that made your ring?
You know what? Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, depending on the situation. So typically if it is a championship and you're at the ring ceremony, you get to meet them and shake their hand. I've got to know quite a few players just through the contacts there, but they're always so just happy and grateful to get the ring and really make a big deal of it, because that is that pivotal moment for them.
Right. That's awesome. That's so cool that you get to be part of that. Well, that's all I got for you today, Peter. And thank you so much for joining us today. And thanks for tuning in to Revolution Radio. We'll see you guys next time.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Chris.
No problem.
Bye-bye.
Now we have, taking a break from his Lego building expeditions, Zach with the weirdest news he could find. Take it away, Zach.
It's Friday, and that means it's time for the weirdest news found on the internet. Time for weird news. A 25-year-old woman named Brianna Evans has pleaded guilty in the UK's first ever cyber farting case. Yes, you've heard that right. Evans allegedly repeatedly sent videos of herself farting directly into her phone camera to her boyfriend's ex-partner, who just said, "I would like to feel safe in my own home." Not with that kind of stench around. Repeatedly, Evans sent at least 8 videos over the Christmas and New Year period of 2024. Allegedly, several of the clips showed her passing gas while smiling at the camera. The recipient said that those bizarre videos caused her distress and anxiety. However, Evans was handed a 12-month community order and fined nearly £300. Additionally, she was given a 2-year restraining order, which prevented contact with the victim of her strange torture strategy, a true flatulence felony conviction. From England to the Everglades, it's time for Florida Man. Here is a robbery that rocks. Florida man was sentenced to jail for holding up a Taco Bell with a rock. Officials said Key Warren Anderson approached the drive-thru window at an Ocala, Florida location on July 8th, 2025. He was holding a large rock and demanding money, according to WTFV. Previously reported that he said he got into the Taco Bell. The employees ran from the restaurant and Anderson chased after them. He was eventually found by a police dog hiding behind a dumpster. That's how they all end, I feel like. That's all Florida robberies end behind the dumpster.
Perfect place to hide.
Exactly. Anderson. It makes it easy for the investigators. Right?
Exactly.
Anderson was injured in the event and was treated by medical professionals before being taken to jail for processing. That's the weirdness for this week, and now it's time for your dad joke of the week. My boss said, dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. So I went as Batman. I'm Zachary Balog. You cannot make this stuff up. If you need me, I'll be behind the dumpster.
This has been Revolution Radio. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Owen Kohut, joined by
Brianna, Myles.
And be sure to tune in next week for a brand new episode that will bring you more news, fun facts, and a whole lot of entertainment.
Be safe out there.
Thank you for joining us at Revolution Radio.
This show would not be possible without our talented cast and crew. Owen Kohut, Kelly Scheffler, Natalie Reinhardt, Joseph Bedard, Zachary Balog, Haley Trelo, Brianna Myles, Teresa Jaworski, Otis Redding, and Tony Tavaleri. Check us out at Revolution Radio Windsor on YouTube and TikTok.